Hi everybody, it's Waste Not Wednesday, and today we're going to do something a little bit different from what we've done over the past couple weeks. So this is Linda Carroll from my studio, Gather of Great Things, and today we're going to work in black and white. I hope you're all doing well, and I hope the weather has shifted for some of you. I know you were blanketed with snow, and the sun has finally come out here at the beach, although it's a little bit chilly, but it's a beautiful day. So the last couple weeks we've been doing collage using things that would have just been thrown away. Junk mail especially, tickets, tags, anything that would have ended up in the landfill normally, we're using in collage. This was our mail art piece that we did, and very, very colorful, filled with joy, I think. This was a lot of fun. And then last time we were together, we did this collage that is full of motion. The way that the strips and the pieces of junk mail go up the page and kind of fly off of this wine label down here is shows a lot of movement, dynamic movement, bright colors. So we've been working with a lot of color. Today we're going to do something totally different. We're going to work with black and white. And I went through my junk mail stash and I found a number of things that I want to work with, as well as some of my own artwork that I've done that I've kept to use for backgrounds. So you can work in a lot of exciting ways using just black and white. I found a couple online, and I'm sorry I don't know the artists' names of these pieces. It wasn't attached to the artwork, but this one has, it looks like a lot of junk mail, old bits from books, cardboard. It looks like cardboard stamping up here, pieces from dictionaries, maybe newspapers, crinkled tissue paper in the background that's been painted black and then over here painted white. Really, really great design, balanced, and exciting. A lot of movement in here. A lot of layering in here. They went over it with, it looks like some maybe modeling paste or heavy gesso or something like that with stencils, and maybe some little tiny bubble wrap in here. So this is one direction you can go in. This one is more of what is called a mood board, done only in black and white. And basically this is mostly, maybe all, torn edges, rough torn edges, lots of textures, lots of words. And this is probably making a comment on something they probably had in mind, or it could just be textures. They could have just used a lot of these words as textures. But a lot of contrast between the black and white, a lot of difference between the styles of the typography used in here, a lot of textures, and it does look like they use the insides of security envelopes, which we'll be doing. So again, all just junk that would have been thrown away. This one is a little bit more let's say, designed than the others. And this one started with a picture of Johnny Depp in the background, and then was abstracted. The portrait was abstracted by putting in these different shapes in black and white. And they replaced an eye over here with a different eye. They put different hair up here. Again, really successful. This one was done by Prarthana Kulasekara. Sorry, I know I demolished that name, but I really, really like this one. It caught my eye. And so you can also work in this style. I couldn't find a face this big in my junk mail, or I probably would have gone in this direction. But I'll show you what I did find, and we can go from there. I did find some cardboard. Now this was originally blue, light blue, and I painted it black to go along with our theme. Pieces out of a calendar. This was in a piece of junk mail, this enlarged $2 bill. This was out of a magazine catalog, and I liked the black and white texture. I think it was probably a curtain or a blanket, maybe. This is type from something in junk mail in all different languages. Great textures. This was from a tag off of a handbag, and basically I got this one for the words here. So for life's journey. It's not white though, so I may not be able to use that one. But anyway, you can look for something like that. These are off of an envelope that goes, the little hashes that go underneath the stamp. This is from a calendar. These are words that I found from junk mail, brochures, and catalogs. These I found at the Dollar Tree, an entire set, I think I showed you before, of numbers and letters. 5 happens to be my favorite number, so that's what I'm going to be using. And then I have my own artwork that I'm going to be punching out or cutting out areas of this. And this was done with black paint, white acrylic paint, graphite, pencil, and I think that's it in this one. Maybe some charcoal up here. So we're going to be working with this. And also, I took apart some envelopes that were in junk mail, and I found a number of different textures that I can use in this particular collage. Here are those numbers and letters that I got at Dollar Tree for $1. So let's get started. I'm going to use a substrate of foam core board. You can use white paper, you can use white cardboard, you can use regular cardboard that you paint the background white or black, either one. And I'm going to use my glue stick that I have, and I'm probably also going to use a little bit heavier glue. Let's see. I'll probably use Fabri-Tac to attach. Well, you can tell it's been cold in here. It's not moving very fast. Let's see. I have another one. This one's better. Another thing I found were some buttons, And I may use some of these in the collage somewhere. We'll see. But they're different sizes, different textures, and they might be a fun addition. Here's one that has a little bit of texture to it. So anything that you can find to, oh, here's a little square one. Anything that you can find to use in your collage, go for it. Make it fun. Make it, oh, here's another little square one. I wonder if I have a third one. Okay, so these are things that I've collected, and as I said, I'm going to be working on a foam core board, but you can work on anything that you'd like. So I'm going to gather my things up and put them in this box so that they're not scattered everywhere. Kind of. I usually store things like this. Oh, I found a inside of a fortune cookie. I found a fortune that I thought would be really cool. Yes, I do save everything. So, how has everybody been? Doing well, I hope. Okay, got my stuff, got my board. These are all different textures I can use. Now, I have to decide if I want to work on a white background or do I want to work on a black background. I think I might do something different and work on a black background. So I have some acrylic paint, black acrylic paint, and you can get paint at the Dollar Tree. They have all different kinds of acrylic paints now. And do I want to add some tissue paper to make some texture in the background, maybe, or some string? This is string crochet thread that I use for binding books. Let's cut some of this off. And I'm gonna go get some tissue paper, I think. Be right back. So if you want to use tissue paper, excuse me, for a background, which will give it kind of a crinkly texture, you do need to crinkle it up to start to get your texture going here. And I'm going to use some glue. This is PVA glue. Sorry, I've got a froggy in my throat this morning. You can use white glue. You probably could even use your glue stick. And I'm just gonna start putting it on a little heavily. I don't want it to dry before I start putting down my tissue paper. And I'm just going to lay it on the foam core board and let it kind of fall naturally with all the crinkles in it. And then I'm going to go over the top of it. Now, if you're using a glue stick, you just want to skip this part, and when you paint it, it will adhere the tissue paper even more. So this just helps glue down like this fold here so that it's more secure, but paint will do the same thing. I love this texture. Oops. Dirty brush there. Okay, we need to let this dry or dry it. Okay, I'm just kind of randomly putting some string on in my background, kind of very Miro-like, and I like that. I think it'll add some more texture to the background. I don't want it too thick, or the pieces that I'm putting on top of it may not stick very well. But I kind of like I do like the randomness of it, and my glue is still tacky enough in a lot of places to hopefully hold it down when I paint over the top of this. We'll see what happens. Okay. And I'm going to go back to my my black acrylic paint, and that's kind of fun right there. And I'm going to gently start painting over my string. It's okay if it moves. This was kind of a random pattern or design. So you can see I'm kind of just tapping it. Now, since I'm adding paint to this, and I will be adding some more paint as I go along, this would probably be considered like a mixed media and collage piece. But just have fun with this, you know. It's the process that really, really counts. In fact, right now, I don't have anything in mind that I'm wanting to build. I just know that I want to work with a lot of texture. I want to have a thoughtful composition. I want to have a lot of contrast in this piece. But as far as how the collage is going to evolve, I'm not sure yet. I think the pieces that I use will dictate what the collage is going to become, which honestly, most of the time, that's what happens. I have an intention at the beginning, but you know, if something happens, either an accident or a fortunate accident, or I happen to really like something that I put down, and that may change the entire collage. I kind of go with the flow and enjoy what is happening. Enjoy the evolution of the piece. Okay, I have my background dried. So right now I think I'm just gonna, I have enough different texture paper. I'm gonna tear some, and some I'm going to cut. And I do have a couple of my punches here that I'm going to try to use as well. So just sit back and enjoy my process as I start creating shapes and things that I think might work. I'll create more than I will use, obviously. And then when I get finished here, I'll tell you why I made the choices that I did. I've gotten to this point and I like the layout. I have a good mixture of textures, and I think what I am really talking about, and what this is saying to me, is talking to me about this year, this new year, 2021. Obviously, since we're still, at least I am staying inside and not going to restaurants and that type of thing, my year will probably most definitely be very artful, and I'm staying positive about what is going on as much as possible. I have that outlook. I'm passionate about what I'm doing. Sometimes I feel an urgency to really be in my studio, to speak my mind, to do things that I've been planning to do for a long time, and now is the time. So that's important to me. Number 5 is a number of change, and I am almost always open to that. I looked at this Go Wild these words, and I thought, no, it's not time to go wild. It's time to be a little bit more intentional about what I'm doing, but at the same time going with the flow. Simple changes? No, this isn't a year for simple changes. It's a year very definitely for some big changes. So I think I'm going to go ahead and start gluing this down. Now, what I've learned could end up in here somewhere. I'm not sure where, but this is definitely speaking to me. I love all the different textures, and I have repetition. I have my 3s going on to carry you through the artwork. I have my 5s going on. I like the texture of the buttons. I think this is definitely going to be a piece that you'll want to touch and not necessarily just set aside. I tried using these pieces in here, but I just couldn't quite get them. Maybe I had them going the wrong direction. Maybe they need to go that direction. So I do like that there. Let's see what happens here. And I do like that there, kind of. Okay, I think I'm at the point where I'm ready to start pasting down all of my pieces. This kind of has a waterfall flow from the top left corner down to the lower right corner, but I have these 2 pieces repeated here on these corners, so it should bring your eye back in and around. I left this part up here basically black to balance out this really white number 5 down here in the corner, which I think it does. I may drag some white paint across these black cardboard pieces when I get to that point. But for right now, I'm going to start gluing and get this in position the way that I want. I really feel like I need to use this little piece, but I'm not sure where. Okay, I think I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac. Somewhere I have a tinier one. I'm not sure where it is right now. Okay, let's just start getting this glued down. Okay, I think I'm going to add some marks using a fan brush and some white acrylic paint just to add some spontaneity to this. I mean, it's pretty graphic. And I think that definitely helped. Let's see here. Dry brush means I don't have any water on my brush, and the paint goes on as it comes out of the tube or the jar. So I like that. I don't think I like this right here. So okay. And I'm thinking that I might want some random dots on here. That not real. I'm going to take a little bit of my drinking water here. My spray bottle's over on the other side of the studio. So I want to thin this down. Okay, let's see what happens. See if I totally mess this up or if I like it. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, I'm just kind of flicking paint. And when you do things like this, it tends to unify your entire piece. I want the majority of it to kind of follow the flow of the collage. And you don't need a lot of paint on your brush. I like smaller dots. Okay, the ones I don't like are the first ones that I put on here. So and I can go back in and clean that up with some black paint if I need to when everything dries. Okay, that kind of brightened it up a little bit. I do like it. Okay. All right, I'm at the point where I would want to let this sit for a while and then come back to it and see if there's anything else that I want to add. Even though I did start out with just an abstract idea of working with textures and with repetition and with layering and balance. I have a good balance of black and white, and there's some gray in here. It did end up telling us a story to me and talking to me about the coming year. So indeed, this could almost be like a vision board for the coming year, which is very much like a mood board. The one I showed you at the beginning. So I've been doing vision boards for years, and they're really helpful in manifesting goals and things that you want. They tend to keep you focused. So this is our Waste Not Wednesday collage. I think it's everything that I wanted it to be, and I'm pleased with it. And I'm coming up with quite a let's see, where did I put our other one? Let's look at these two together. I'm coming up with a real array of pieces that, you know, they're all kind of working together. I guess maybe one of the reasons it's all based on trash. But we've certainly turned some of our junk into gems, and with that I'm really pleased about. So I hope you enjoyed this version of Waste Not Wednesday. If you haven't yet, go out and start collecting junk mail. Get some stuff out of the trash that you may have not meant to throw away, or out of your recycle bin. Look for cardboard. You can tear the top off of the cardboard and have a nice corrugated surface. Insides of envelopes, buttons you find or have kept. All these things I just, you know, I had here with me. Use your own artwork, add that energy to it, make it more your own, and I think that you'll come up with something that you're really pleased with, and very dynamic. And and use all the techniques and the ideas that we've come up with in the last couple of weeks. So with that, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or evening, whichever the case may be. I'm going to go wash my hands because they're really sticky and gluey. Many blessings to you all, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.